not going to say sunset on the Oilers yet, but in sunrise, as in Florida, the happy bunch of Panthers fans as Game 2 in the Stanley Cup Final goes the way of the home team. Alonzo Mourning getting the fans fired up. ESPN debuting goalie cam during warm-ups. Whoa, Steve, that's what it feels like to skate, buddy. Sergei Bobrovsky trying to hold Connor McDavid pointless in consecutive games. Look out here. Eetu Luostarinen with a loose puck. Warren Foegele comes skating in. Luostarinen down. Scary moment there as the two teams are not thrilled about what goes on there. We'll see what happens. Foegele with the left knee into the left leg. It's a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. Luostarinen looked bad, goes to the locker room, but did return to the bench later in the period. Ensuing power play. Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets called for tripping on Matthias Janmark. So now we got some 4-on-4 hockey. Just 10 seconds into the 4-on-4, McDavid. Matthias Ekholm, shoot the puck. He does. And he beats Bob 5-hole. Oilers are on the board. Another look at everybody is just terrified of McDavid, which you totally understand. Ekholm gets the first goal for Edmonton in over 115 minutes of ice time, their longest drought without a goal the entire season. But the good news is they're on the board, leading by 1. About halfway through the second, Panthers in their own zone. Nico Mikkola. The Panthers coming in on the rush. Anton Lundell the drop, and the Panthers have evened it up. Mikkola. Building has lit the fuse. And you see that Edmonton managed to kill 34 consecutive penalties. That's the good news. But the Panthers are able, here on the, look at that graphic came in a little bit early there. That's the shot there from Stuart Skinner making the save on Sam Bennett. Yeah, there we go. That's the 34th consecutive penalty killed. And the Oilers keep it 1-1. He's probably cussing. He's saying, we're the best bleeping team in the third period in hockey. And they are. Panthers in the offensive zone. Evan Rodriguez, shot blocked, stays with it. And the Panthers take a 2-1 lead. Shot through traffic. I don't know if he saw it. A little later in the third, Leon Draisaitl jumps into Alexander Barkov. Barkov is down. Scrum ensues. You see Draisaitl, both his feet come off the ice, both skates come off the ice. Draisaitl heads to the box. Ensuing power play after 34 consecutive kills. Lundell, Rodriguez again. Beautiful feed. It's artistry. And the Panthers have a 3-1 lead. They were dominating in shots throughout. Here comes McDavid on a breakaway. Turned away. McDavid's opportunity there. With about 6 to go in the game. Could have gotten the home team within 1. Down 2. The net is empty early. Aaron Ekblad from center ice buries that. And the Panthers give up the first and then get 4 unanswered. And they have a 2-0 series lead. And this, again, is an astounding statistic as the Panthers in the final 20 minutes outscore Edmonton by 3. Their goal differential in the final period this season now plus 17, currently tied for the 5th best differential in the final period in a single postseason. What you asked me was, who was going to win tonight?
Yep.
I said Florida, and you agreed. Why?
I did, because I thought they were going to have a response after Game 1. That wasn't Florida Panthers hockey we saw in Game 1. And that team, who's been to the Stanley Cup Finals before, they know they got away with one. So I expected them to get back to their game, which is forecheck, pressuring in the offensive zone. And that's exactly what we saw tonight. It's exactly what led to that first goal, or that game-winning goal for Rodriguez. And as we look at this here, it's going to be a forecheck. We're going to have hard pressure down the wall by Barkov. Opozo's going to come over and he's going to support this puck. So as this comes in, Barkov comes down and it's second man hard on the puck. But this is the play right here. You see Barkov, he's standing right here. He has 2 options. All of a sudden he can go to the net which is not the right option. He engages in this battle, and he starts the back pressure. As he starts that back pressure, this battle's lost, but he's right there. Rodriguez jumps off the bench, but Barkov causes that turnover. So now this play is going to work around. Edmonton's been in the zone for a little while, and as this play works around, it's Barkov. He gets to the front of the net. Look at him in front of the net right here. Skinner has no chance. He cannot see a thing right now, and this is going to lead to the goal. Rodriguez gets this puck back, and as he does, look at Skinner right here. He is trying to look around Barkov. Barkov is always going to do a moving screen across Skinner. Skinner looks, goes to the other side. He never picks this puck up.
Nope.
It's in the back of the net, and everybody's going to be talking about Bouchard and that turnover he had, but that's what happens when Florida's pressuring you like that. You feel like you have to make decisions so much faster than you do because you're used to having somebody in your face. So Bouchard gets that puck. He tries to clear it, rushes it, ends up on Rodriguez's stick into the back of the net.
It's interesting because Edmonton's only scored 1 goal in 2 games, right? This incredible offense. But in this particular game, which you were explaining to me, and I'd love for you to try to share with our viewers now, is it's in many respects, it's the way Florida's offense is playing and dominating the puck that's preventing it. It's like the defense, great, sure, and Bobrovsky, sure, he's made great saves. But in many ways, how is their ability to control the puck limiting Edmonton's chances?
Well, in game 1, Edmonton did an unbelievable job against Florida's forecheck. They got the puck out of the zone quickly, they got out in the attack, and they spent time in Florida's zone. But today, Florida got to their forecheck, and they held on to the puck in the offensive zone. And when you're playing guys like Draisaitl and McDavid, the best defenses make them defend, and they did that tonight. And also what I've noticed tonight is when McDavid had the puck in the offensive zone, is they defended by a 5-man unit. Watch they trade off here. They pressure, and then they let the next guy jump in. It's not one guy trying to defend McDavid, but there takes a lot of communication to be able to do this and a lot of trust in your teammates, and that's exactly what they do here. They'll let McDavid all day work around the outside. They just got to make sure their sticks are in the seams because McDavid, when he's working around the outside, he's so good at making those seam passes to his partners and his teammates. But Florida's did a great job defending McDavid tonight.
A little chatter before the series about ask the Buffalo Bills about experience and what does it mean, right? Western New York, stand up. You tell me, do you believe, and we'll have Bobrovsky on with us in a bit. I'm interested in what he'd say. But knowing what something feels like versus wondering what it feels like, and particularly for Edmonton, we know it's been forever for Canada and it's been a long time for Edmonton on this stage. Do you see a more experienced team in terms of handling whatever comes with these moments?
I think it's huge. And going through it myself, being in the finals with Tampa against Chicago in 2015, our emotional swings we had from wins and losses, we were high when we win, so low when we lost. And I think you got to go through that to realize what it's like because everything is just so amplified. You're going into this game, they know they're 3 wins away from lifting the Stanley Cup if you're Florida, but they realize we've been in this situation before. Yep. We know how big these games are, so we got to make sure that we have that same approach. We don't have that dip because we feel great because we just won a hockey game. And I think that experience pays off, and we're seeing it right now for Florida.
The numbers are the numbers. They don't mean that this series is a wrap, but 54 times there have been 2-0 leads in a best-of-7. The teams that start 2-0 are 49-5. Yeah. In order for this series to shift drastically, and Edmonton will have the opportunity, obviously, on home ice to get on the board, but what has to happen for Edmonton to make this a series and get a win?
I think Edmonton's power play's got to get going. They're 0 for 7 in the series, 0 for 4 tonight. And they live and die on their power play. Listen, the amount of talent they have, it's a very good power play, but it's hard to score against Florida 5-on-5. You're not going to beat Florida 5-on-5 if you're Edmonton. Florida's the better team. It is what it is, 5-on-5, but your power play has to chip in, has to get opportunities, and once you get one on the power play, all of a sudden that flows into your 5-on-5. Your top guys start feeling good. They have a goal. They have an assist. So their power play has to score if they're going to get back in the series.
But it is interesting the way you describe it with Tampa Bay. Like just that Edmonton, I would imagine, again, we've made this clear repeatedly, don't skate, don't understand, can't play the sport. But I would imagine it's an incredibly difficult sport to play and stage to be on when you're really gripping that stick and you're just like, God, we've got to get a goal, we've got to get a win.
Yeah, it does. It snowballs, right? And you realize now you're down 2-0, right? And you're this close. It takes so hard to get here. It takes almost 2 months to get to this point. You're in the finals. All of a sudden you're looking up, you're down 2-0 just like that. It's hard to get those emotions back, but if anybody could do it, it's Edmonton. I mean, they're not out of this. Until you lose on home ice, you're not done, right? I truly believe in that. So I think they still have a chance, but their power play has to get going if they're going to win.
I agree. It's just this is a team that their offense, when it gets cooking, feels like they could score 6 goals on anybody, and they've got 1 goal in 40 minutes.
It's hard also, too. They should have won game 1, right? So to have that emotion, you think you play a really good game, you outplay Florida, and you look and we're down 1-0. That's tough to take as well.
Well, and now they're down 2-0. But to your point, they'll have the opportunity on their home ice to get back in this series.
We just try to play the same game. It's not like we're trying to play a different game or try to shut it down or whatever. Just play really hard, play in your face, keep the gaps good, play simple, move your feet, get some hits, and yeah, it's all about moving our feet out there. And I thought we did a really good job of that tonight.
I think we get your reaction to the hit on Bart and what your level of concern is.
I have no response or comment on that.
Chucky, you guys always talk about any guy in this room can be a hero. What did it mean to see Roddy kind of be that guy tonight?
So good, so happy for him, proud of him. He was awesome playing with him the last few games. He reads the game so well. That's 2 games in a row scoring some big goals for us. He's a super smart player, and I'm really happy to see him get rewarded right now. But I worked so hard, and tonight it was him, and could have been a number of guys, and he did a great job of finding the net for us. And I think other than the goals, he was super steady for us. Moved his feet, got on the forecheck, made some really good plays. So it was a really great night for him.
We can certainly be better. Starts with me. There's certainly a lot more to give and be a lot better.
Yeah, the reality is that everyone, us, you look at the 2 best players on this team in a game like this and say, you got to score, you got to get the puck in net. Is it fair to look at you and Connor and say, we need more?
Yeah, I can only speak for myself. I certainly have a lot more to give. Not my best tonight. Obviously, owning that and regroup and make sure I'll be better in Game 3.
You still have to get 2 more victories, but teams who go up 2-0 at home in a best-of-7 Stanley Cup final go on to hoist the cup nearly 93% of the time. They hold an overall 39-3 record when doing so. Only 3 teams to come back and win in that scenario: the 1971 Canadiens, the 2009 Penguins, the 2011 Bruins. That's the source of that 30 for 30, yeah. Right? Vancouver. Yeah, things got a little bit. All right, the other side here for Edmonton. You see, when you trail Stanley Cup final, what's this? They've been perfect before tonight, but now they got a steep uphill climb. Sergei Bobrovsky joins us now. Sergei, it's Scott Van Pelt here on SportsCenter. Thank you very much for taking a moment here after this remarkable victory for your team. I want to begin just in the 3rd period. Your team's been incredible all year long in those final 20 minutes. Is there an explanation for how you all have been so consistently brilliant in 3rd periods of games?
Well, I think we have, first of all, we have a great group of guys, and we know our system, and we stick with the system, and I think the most important thing that all of us are enjoying that time, enjoy that time when it's a 3rd period, when game is on the line. Everybody kind of get excited on the ice and make that play.
I believe that experience in anything is the most is a big quality to have, but I think confidence is the most important thing. And I want to get to the experience in a moment, but just the confidence, Sergei, that you're playing with at the moment. 12 of your last 13 games, 2 goals or fewer. How do you describe the confidence you have in the men in front of you, and then the confidence you have in yourself in terms of how you're playing right now?
Yeah, it's just a privilege to be part of this team and help this group of guys. They work so hard. They block shot. Have great system, and it's fine. It's so much fun to be there for them, and when they need me, and it's a playoff, and I'm so happy and appreciated to be here to play hockey, and it's awesome.
The experience I was alluding to, obviously this is the 2nd spring in a row that you've been down this road. How much do you believe what you have been through collectively last year and this, how much do you believe that's an advantage because they've not been where you all are?
Yeah, I think it's important to get that experience and to know how tough it gets to make the final and stuff. But you know, on the other hand, you approach it one moment at a time and just stick with it and see what's going to happen.
Last thought. This team you're up against, you've held them to 1 goal in 2 games, and we know what they're capable of. How would you describe the challenge of limiting this team in the way that you have in these first 2 games, Sergei?
Yeah, they are obviously elite offensive team, and they're very dangerous. So, and it's a fun challenge. You know, it's been great, and it's been fun. So guys did a great job, and yeah, so we're getting ready for next game.
Understood, but I'm certain you'll enjoy this one as you're halfway towards the Cup, but still 2 more wins to get. Sergei Bobrovsky, thank you so much for joining us tonight on SportsCenter.
Thank you for having me.